know that despite trillion-dollar valuations in the asset and wealth management industry, nearly half of small businesses in the US offer no retirement plans at all, or that ESG investments are projected to exceed 40 trillion by 2030? I'm Erin Pearson. I'm the Vice President of Marketing at Evalueserve, and today we're going to unveil our first ever annual outlook report for the asset and wealth management industry. So what's driving $7,000 in annual income shortfall that's projected for elderly households by 2040? Or how are AI innovations reshaping investment strategies while margins face unprecedented pressure? We're going to answer these questions and more. And to do that, joining me is Anirudh, who is the Director of Asset and Wealth Management at Evalueserve, and he's going to help us explore these critical questions and a lot more. We're going to go from the transformation of retirement accessibility to navigating the regulatory complexities of ESG investing. And we're going to unpack the forces that are reshaping wealth management in 2025. So Anirudh, welcome, and let's dive in.
Thank you, Erin.
Yeah. So just to get started, Evalueserve has written an annual outlook for the asset and wealth management industry for the very first time. So what do you think is the current state of the industry, and what are the key themes that are covered in this report?
Yeah, so Erin, this is the first flagship report, like you said, and what we have done is we have analyzed the AWM industry through the lens of the domains that we cater to. The purpose of this report is basically to identify the key domains or the key topics that are affecting the domains that we work in and the clients that we focus for. If you look at the AWM industry, it has been an industry in transition for the last many years. There have been multiple factors which have affected this industry. So right from the advent of robo-advisory, the rise of ETFs, the technology changes that are happening in this domain that have kept this industry in a very transitionary movement, which has basically led to a scenario wherein the asset under management or the AUMs have grown, but the revenue for these companies have basically fallen short of that growth. So what has happened is that the margins which these companies were making earlier on the money that they manage has reduced because of all these factors, and the market has become intensely competitive over the last many years. So in this report, like you have already highlighted, we cover the entire spectrum, look at the entire spectrum from the investment side to the retirement side and to the ESG side, and talk about what we see as the movement forward in the year 2025.
Yeah, and as you aptly named, there's a lot of things that are changing in the space today. So this is a very interesting time. I think we're still, the world is shifting constantly, and it's going to be evolving, beyond this as well. But as we look at this, what are the key factors that are influencing investment strategies, and how can asset managers optimize portfolios to balance this risk and reward?
Sure. So investment strategy or the investment decision making is the key element for any asset management firm. And over the last few years, and particularly right now, there are multiple factors which have been influencing the investment strategy decision making. So the key elements are geopolitical risk. And right now, when we wrote this report, there was a threat of tariffs coming about. But today, we have seen that the tariffs have been announced. There is a 90-day pause on it, but that's a scenario which is definitely going to impact the investment decision-making capabilities of every asset manager. So in this market, for everyone to really look at how they are going to outgrow the market or give the alpha, the excess return on the benchmark that they're marked to, is the key essence. And all the focus that we see on the asset management side is purely on the alpha side. When I talk about the fund specifics or the asset class specifics, you will see that the equity market or the equity funds continue to dominate the entire market, but the bond markets offer the diversification and the stability, the income side of it, which is why they are very much in the play. This said, over the last many years, what we have also seen is a rise of alternative investment, with the private market, the real estate taking a very predominant space in this domain, and a lot of money is shifting towards these avenues, including cryptocurrencies. So the market originally, which was a two asset class or a three asset class industry, is now a much diversified pool, with people having the option to invest in equities, private markets, the digital assets, and the like, so on. So, and navigating all these complexities and building a resilient portfolio is something which the asset managers would be focusing on in the year 2025, as we see it.
Yeah, I think the point, having that diversified portfolio and then really managing those risks, as you were mentioning, is super key. And it's something that, given, as you rightly said, we're recording this in April 2025, and just looking at, in the US specifically, the tariffs that, they're coming and then they're being paused, all of that is making investment decisions quite difficult for people. So we're seeing a lot more turmoil as well. So one additional piece is the report that you've created is highlighting that retirement accessibility is still a big issue in Europe and the US. And it's a fact that not all are able to avail retirement benefits. So can you tell us what regulators and retirement providers are doing to bridge this retirement gap?
Yeah, so this has become and is becoming a very important aspect for the retirement industry. So if you look at the data when we were doing this, we were amazed to see that with such a good high pension asset to GDP ratio in the US and even in the European countries, when you deep dive into it, you saw a staggering 47% of small businesses offering no retirement plan. So people basically earning with the income, getting their incomes from the small businesses, they don't have any retirement planning. They are underfunded. They would not have any pensions when they get into that stage. So what it is going to do is that it's going to lead to about a $7,000 annually shortfall when we come to the retiring households by the year 2024. This is for the US, but when you talk about Europe, the scenarios are not very different. It's a scenario wherein a third of the people that are covered are still facing the same setup. That said, there are definitely steps that have been taken by regulators. So you have the Secure Act 2.0 of US, and the European side, you have the pan-European pension products that are aimed at expanding the access of retirements. These reforms are promoting the innovation solutions like the state facilitated retirement program and the pooled employment employers plan. That said, also, then you have the retirement providers offering personalized retirement plans, coming up with lifetime income options and comprehensive financial wellness programs to incite the participants to enroll for retirement products.
That's great. And an additional area that you're really focused on is that the report shows a really big rise in ESG investing and new stricter rules around that. So can you explain simply why this is happening and what regulations asset managers should know and how they can build trust to avoid issues like greenwashing in the market?
Yeah. So like you pointed out at the start of the call, the ESG investment is one of the biggest growing domains of the investing segment. The overall asset under management, like you have pointed out, is projected to surpass 40 trillion by the year 2030. But what it is also doing is that it is bringing in a scrutiny of various regulators from across the globe. So you have the SEC, you have the ESMA, you have the FCA that are implementing stringent rules to improve the transparency and also prevent greenwashing. So when we talk about greenwashing, we are talking about an aspect wherein the companies are projecting that they are ESG compliant. They are using terms which are appearing to be ESG compliant, but actually they are not ESG compliant. So they, when the regulators look at it, they see that the actual scenarios are different, and the funds which are sold as ESG funds are not actually ESG compliant to that level. So there are stricter regulations which are coming about. On the fund side, the funds are also becoming more cognizant of this fact and are putting up checks and balances to ensure that their entities that they are investing in are ESG compliant. They are not greenwashing, and they are complying to the regulations which make them fit to be put in an ESG fund. That said, the other side of it is that the managers have to really adopt to the strengthening governance side. They have to strengthen their own governance, their own data management, the transparency aspect of it, and also look at various other new components like the COP29, which are building up the overall complexity environment for this particular segment.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Anirudh. These are super good insights into the wealth management industry's changing landscape. And, you discussed a lot of things today, such as several major shifts that are happening, that new technology is changing how investments are managed, sustainability-focused investments are growing rapidly, and still a lot of people lack proper retirement plans as well, which could leave them thousands of dollars short each year in retirement. So what stands out is that companies who adapt to new technology and can stay ahead of regulations and really focus on their clients' needs will be the most successful as the market is changing. So our annual Outlook report gives you practical guidance for navigating these changes, and I encourage all listeners today to download the full report at evalueserve.com to get our complete analysis and recommendations for 2025. Because this isn't just about understanding the future of wealth management, but it's about positioning yourself to help shape it as well. So please reach out to dive deeper into these technological disruptions that are transforming our client acquisition strategies. And thank you for tuning in today.